So today we're looking at solving one-step equations. Although one-step equations only require one step to solve out, you first need to ask yourself three questions. The first question would be, what is the variable? So you need to look at the equation and identify the variable that is placed in the equation. The next question you need to ask yourself is, what operation is being performed on the variable? What this means is that you need to look at the variable and its surrounding numbers and decide which operation is being performed. So if addition is being performed, or subtraction, multiplication, division. And lastly, you need to ask yourself what the inverse operation of that operation would be. So if the operation being performed was addition, your inverse operation would be subtraction. Okay, so if you remember a couple of days ago, we talked about inverse operation, how it undoes what's already been done. So how it works in simple terms would be, if I gave you $3, I added $3 to your bank account, and I went ahead and I took back my $3, I subtracted it, you're now left with $0, right? I undid what I had already done. So the one step that you want to take to solve for the variable is you want to use the inverse operation you decided on to get the variable alone. And then make sure you go back and check your answer once you're done. So we're going to look at a couple of equations. So the first one reads x plus 10 equals 13. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is identify the variable, which here the variable is x. Next, we want to identify the operation being performed on the variable and its inverse operation. So the operation being performed would be addition here. Okay? The inverse of addition would be subtraction. Next, we want to use the inverse operation to get the variable alone. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to use subtraction. Okay, remember, what you do to one side of the equal needs to be done to the other. This is going to cancel out. And 13 minus 10 is 3. You want to bring the rest down. And you are now left with x equals 3. Now that we've solved, we're going to go back and check. So if we fill in 3 for x here, okay, 3 plus 10 equals 13. And that does check out. So we have successfully completed that one. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this next equation. The next equation reads m over 7, or m divided by 7, equals 5. So we've identified that the variable is m. We now need to identify the operation being performed and its inverse. So whenever we see a fraction, we know that the operation being performed is division. And the inverse operation of division, or what's going to undo it, is multiplication. So we're now going to use the inverse operation, which we decided was multiplication, to get the variable alone. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to multiply both sides by 7. And we're now going to be left with m equals 35. Now that we've solved out, we're going to go ahead and check the answer. So we're going to do 35 divided by 7 equals 5. And that does check out, which means we have done this one correct as well.